Hello everyone. Today I will present the final projects. My topic is COVID-19 situation in Thailand. Present Dr. Munchai Sopitkaman.
Hello, my name is Silavat Lekpisut, 6410554397.
Hello, my name is Thirapat Anansekun, 6410551151.
Hello, my name is Panachai Sasanapong Pisha, 6410551169.
Hello, my name is Chirapat Kumwasawan, 6410551134.
Hello, my name is Panyawat Vipathananantakun. ID 6410554346. Our topic is COVID-19 situation in Thailand.
The description. From the programming, we can see the summary of the case data in 2022 February and overview information of COVID-19 situation in Thailand. In order to further works to be analyzed and used for further development of education.
And for the scope, the biggest scope is the total infected, the smaller is the new infected, and the smallest is the death.
Our program begin by reading data from the data.txt file, then ask the user to select one of the option 1 to 10 or press enter to exit. Option 1 is new infected by RT-PCR, in which case the program will ask the user for the day that they want to know, 1 to 28 February, and will display new infected by RT-PCR for each day that they choose. However, if the user types 0, the program will display all new infected by RT-PCR data and a graph before stop the program.
And the next one is option 2, new date. If we enter 0 and read new date of all, it will show graph and stop. And if we choose 1 to 28, it will read new date of each day. And it will return to enter option 1 to 0.
For option 3 is total infected by RT-PCR. The program will ask user to choose the day 1 to 28 from February. Or if user type 0, program will show all of total infected by RT-PCR and graph, then the program stop.
And the next one is option 4, total date. If we enter 0, it will calculate total date of all and show graph and stop. If we choose 1 to 28, it will calculate total date of each day and it will return to enter option 1 to 10.
Next is option 5, kill people. If the user enters 0, our program will read kill people of all, and the graph will be shown. Then the program will be stopped. But if the user chooses 1 to 28, our program will read kill people of each day, and then the program will return to the enter option. Next is option 6, ratio between kill people and new infected RT-PCR. If the user enters 0, our program will calculate ratio between kill people and new infected RT-PCR of all, and then the graph will be shown. Then the program will be stopped. But if the user chooses 1 to 28, our program will calculate ratio between kill people and new infected RT-PCR of each day, and then the program will return to the enter option.
Next is option 7, percentage of days. Program will ask user to enter the day. If user enters 0, the program will calculate all of percentage of days. Then the graph will show and the program will stop. If user choose 1 to 28, program will calculate percentage of days of that day, and program will return to ask to enter the option.
Option A, new infected ATK. If enter 0, program will read in new infected ATK of all and show graph, and then the program will stop. But if choose number in 1 to 28, program will read new infected ATK of each day and return the user to enter the number of option again. For option 9, total infected ATK. If enter 0, the program will calculate total infected ATK of all, and then the program will show graph and stop. If user choose 1 to 28, the program will calculate total infected ATK of each day, and then return to enter the number option again.
And the last option is total infected. Program will ask user to enter the day. If user enters 0, the program will calculate all of infected. Then the graph will show and program will stop. If user choose 1 to 28, program will calculate total infected of that day, and program will return to ask to the enter option.
So we use database from this website. So this is the database.
This is a result of new infected by RT-PCR. The graph is a right graph that a bit fluctuate, but is right up.
And this is the graph of days. The graph is right up from the day 0 to 28.
And this is a bar graph of total infected by RT-PCR.
This is a graph of the total days.
So this is a graph of cured people. It's a line graph. And next is ratio with the graph ratio between cured people and new infected RT-PCR graph.
This is the graph that shows the result of the percentage of days function. It is a line graph.
In this line graph is the result from the program of new infected ATK. So in next bar graph is the graph of total infected ATK.
This bar graph is the result of the total infected function.
My name is Chirapat Kumkongsuwan, student ID 641055134. In this group project, I in charge in part new infected by RT-PCR and total infected by RT-PCR. For the code part of new infected by RT-PCR, start with this one. This line is make a part new infected by RT-PCR to be an option 1 to make a user to choose the option that to choose the data that they want to know, like this. And then the program will ask the day that the user want to know, or enter 0 to show all of the data and show the graph. Then we should transform day to be an integer. And another one is if they more than 0 or and they less than 29 is 1 to 28. It will print new infected by RT-PCR day in each day, the data of each day. But if they equals 0, it will use the data from the table and show all of the data of new infected by RT-PCR, and then it will plot the graph like this one. So the flowchart of this part is this one. It start with option 1, then its program will ask the user to choose 0 to 28. If user choose 1 to 28, it will show the total infected by RT-PCR of each day. But if user choose 0, it will show all of the data and the graph, and then the program will stop.
So the next one, this is my code part. My topic are new days and total days. So if we look into the code, the first one is new date. We need to input data equal to true. And the day is the day you need to know in the February month. You need to input day 1 to day 28 to know the day you need to know. If you input example day 2, it will show the new date day. And if you input day equal to 0, the program will show the graph of the day. By X label is day, by X label is day, and Y label is new date. But if we input day more than this example, you input day 31, the program will print data does not exist. Please enter again. This is my flowchart. Is option 2 new date. If we choose 0 to 28, if we choose 0 for all, the program will calculate total date of all, and it will show graph and then stop. But if we choose 1 to 28, the program will calculate total days of each day.
Okay. Another part that I'm in charge of is total infected by RT-PCR. this one, I set this part to be option 3 to make user choose the data that they want to know. And if they want to know total infected, they should type 3. And then the program will ask about the data that user want to know, or type 0 to show all of the data and the graph. Then the program will transform input that user type to be integer. And this code part have 3 conditions. First condition is if they equal to 1, the program will print the total infected equal the total infected before February is equal this value. If we use this condition. And the second condition, if user choose day between 1 and 29, that is 2 to 28, the program will sum the data of new infected by user total infected data sum with sum of new infected and show total new infected. And the last one, this one, if user choose 0, the program will show total infected by RT-PCR and the graph, and the graph will show like this one, that is a graph of total infected by RT-PCR. So that is all of my part. Thank you for listening.
So the second one is total date. We need to input data equal to 4. And we need to input the that you want to know. This is all total date. This is the all total date before February month is equal to 72,185. And the next one is day. We need to input day from the day 2 to day 28 to calculate total date. By we need to calculate all total date minus the data from the data text, and it will print total date day. And if we input day equal to 0, it will show the graph of total date. But if we input more than 28, example 30, it will show data does not exist. Please enter again. We need to do it program again. This is the next one, total days. If we choose 0, The program will sum of new date by total date equal total date before February plus sum of new date and then show total infected until 28 days and then we'll show the graph. But if we choose 1, it will show total date equal total date before February equal 22,185. And if we choose 2 to 28, the program will sum of new date by total date equal total date before February plus sum of new date until that date. And then it will show total infected.
Hello, my name is Panachai Sasanaphong Pisha, student ID number 6410551169. For my code part, I'm in charge of data number 5 and number 6, which are the cured people and ratio between cured people and new infected RT-PCR. So our program will be used by while loop for ask the user press enter to the end of the program. If user type 5, the program will process and ask you back that the day which you want to know. If user enter the day more than 0 and less than 29, as it is the integer number, the program will be show you the data which is along with the day that you enter it by using the table data, and then they print it by the integer numbers. But if the user enter the day is 0, the program will be calculate and loop same as the enter day more than 0 and less than 29. But the program will be show all of data and show the graph for plotting. And finally, if the user enter in addition to that range, the program will not exist and it will ask you enter the number again. For next code, if the user type 6, the program will process and ask you back that the day which you want to know. If the user enter the day more than 0 and less than 29, as it is the integer number, the program will be calculated as the ratio by using table data of cured people data divided by new infected RT-PCR data. And then the program will be show you the data which is along with the day that you enter it and print it by showing 2 digits of decimal point data. But if the user enter the day is 0, the program will be calculate and loop same as enter the day more than 0 and less than 29. But the program will be show all of the data and append the data for plotting the graph. And finally, if the user enter in addition to that range, the program will not exist and it will ask you to enter number again. Hello, my name is Panachai Sasanaphong Pisha, student ID number 6410551169. So I will be explain my two flowchart that I in charge of. So let's start with a flowchart of the cured people. When we let the user choose number 0 to 28, it will have 2 options. First is user choose number 0. Our program will be read the cured people from our database, and then it will show the graph which have all cured people for a whole month. Second is user choose number 1 to number 28. Our program will be read the cured people of each day, and that the user choose immediately from our database. So next is flowchart of ratio between cured people and new infected RT-PCR. When we let user choose number 0 to number 28, it will have 2 options that same from the previous flowchart. First is user choose number 0. It will be our program will be calculate the ratio by using number of killed people divided by number of infected RT-PCR, and then it will show the graph that for a whole month. The second is user choose number 1 to 28. Our program will be calculate the ratio by the same formula, which is use number of killed people divided by number of infected RT-PCR that I already told, and then it will show the ratio for each day that the user choose immediately.
Hello, my name is Silawat Lokisut, 6410554397. First, I will start with the flow chart of the percentage of days. The percentage of days will compute in 3 ways. First is day 1. Program will compute by use total days divided by total infected RT-PCR, then times 100. Total days and total infected RT-PCR in day 1 come from the database, so it's a constant. Second is day 2 to day 28. Program will take total days and total infected RT-PCR and plus new days and new infected RT-PCR from the database as a loop. If you input day equals to 28, the program will loop 28 times, then calculate and show the percentage of days of the day. Last is input day equal to 0. When you choose day equal to 0, the program will compute same as day 2 to day 28, but the program will show everyday percentage of days, and after all the everyday data, the graph will show. For the code part, I'm in charge of data number 7 and number 10, or percentage of days and total infected. Our program uses the while loop for x until user press the enter to end the program. If user type 7, program will ask the day which user want to know. If you put the day equal to 1, program will take the total infected RT-PCR and total days on the 1st February to calculate. Then print it by showing 2 digits of the decimal point. If you input day more than 1 and less than 29 as an integer, program will loop in a range day that user input. Loop function will plus new infected RT-PCR, which use data from the first column and first row to the row of the day that user inputs, and plus that new date, and which use data from the second column and first row to row of the day that user inputs. Then the program will set the new data as the data that plus already. The program will minus the day of the first day because from the database is from the 1st February. That means it's already plus the new infected RT-PCR and the new date, but the loop included day 1 too. Then program will print the percentage of days in that day. If you input the 0, the program will calculate and loop same as the input day more than 1 and less than 29, but the program will show everyday data and append the data for plot the graph and after all the data shown. Next is...
Hello, my name is Thirapat Karanchaikul, 6410551151. So in my part is new infected ATK and total infected ATK. And for the code, in this line, in 7 line, so in this line is the determine the number of the days. So the number 1 is the start and the number 29 is the stop. So when the program running, it will ask to enter the number of which part. So in my part is number 8 and number 9. And for the number 8 is new infected ATK and number 9 is total infected ATK. So the program will running, and if it is true, the program will show the input that user must answer. And so in the first part is new infected ATK, and the number of data is number 8. And when user enter the number 8, the program will ask the day that the user want to know. Type, if type 1, it will show the new infected ATK in the first day, but if user want to know all of data type 0, when user type number to know the data, that program will find it out from data text file. So this is the data text file, and for all of the data, the program will show all of the data and show the graph of new infected ATK if you type 0 and want to know all of the data. And for the graph, for x-axis is the day in 20 days, and for y-axis is the number of new infected ATK. But if user type wrong number or type wrong, it will show this line, and it will return to the first part, and the user should type it again. And for the graph of my part, yes, my graph is this new infected ATK. It will show all of the data from the program. So in this part is the flowchart of its function, and in this flowchart is my part, and for the progress is new infected ATK, and when the user shoots number 0 to 28, and it is the input for the code. And so in this input has condition, there should 0 for all and should 1 to 28. For the first is show 0 for all. For when the program runs, it will calculate new infected ATK of all, After that, it will show the graph and the program will stop and show the result of the data. And for shoots 1 to 20th, the program will calculate new infected ATK of each day. And for the next part is total infected ATK. For in this part, the data number is number 9. When the when the program runs, it will ask user again. Yes, but in this part is total infected ATK. So when the user want to know the data, it will calculate the total infected ATK in each day. And if user type number 1, the program will find sum of total infected from the old total infected plus the new. And if user want to know of the data, user type 0, the program will calculate the sum of all data and show the total number of each day. And the program will show the graph that is run. But in this part, x-axis is the day of 20 days, and y-axis is the total infected in each day. And but if user type wrong, it will tell user to enter it again, same like this part. And this is the bar graph in my part, total infected ATK. And this is the graph in each day from the program. And for the next part is total infected ATK, and it has 3 conditions. For the first, if user choose 1, the program will show total infected equal total infected ATK before February. So it is 440150. Yes, so for the second shoots to 28, the program will find the sum of new infected and show the total. But also, so this is the total infected equal total infected ATK before February plus sum of new infected. And after that, it will return until that day, the day that user type. And for the last, if user shoots 0, the program will find sum of new infected and total infected ATK from this formula. After calculate, it will show the total infected until 20th days. And after that, the program will run until 20th day. It will show the graph of total infected ATK.
Next, in the flow chart of the total infected combined in 3 ways. First is day 1. Program will compute by use total infected RT-PCR and total infected ATK combined together. Total infected RT-PCR and total infected ATK in day 1 come from database, so it's a constant. Second is day 2 to day 28. Program will use the total infected RT-PCR and total infected ATK, then plus the new infected RT-PCR and new infected ATK from the database as a loop. If you input the day equal to 20, the program will look 20 times, then calculate and show the total infected of that day. Then last is the input day as a 0. When you choose day equal to 0, the program will compute same as day 2 to day 28, but the program will show every day's total infected. After show the everyday data, the graph will show. Next is the if user type the data as a 10, program will ask the data the day that which user want to know. If you input day equal to 1, program will take the total infected on 1st February to show as the day 1. If you input the day more than 1 and less than 29 as an integer, program will loop in a range day that user inputs. Loop function will plus new infected RT-PCR, which use data from the first column and first row to the row of the day that user inputs, and plus the new infected ATK, which use data from the fourth column and the first row to the row of the day that user inputs. And then the program will set the new data as the data that plus already. The program will minus the data of the first day because from the database is from the 1st February. That means it's already plus the day 1. Yes. And then the program will print the total infected in that day. And the last is when you input the day equal to 0, the program will calculate and loop same as the input day more than 1 and less than 29, but the program will show everyday data and append the data for the graph after all the data shown.
So in this is all of group project. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.